Test me bump. Whoa. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we kind of have a change of pace, but not really. It's kind of just like a subject that I wanted to touch on for a little bit, especially recently, more than ever. So the topic for today is captions and why they're important, closed captions. Recently I got tagged in a post on Instagram by a girl named Jolene. She's deaf and she's from the Netherlands, and it was basically a video of this girl saying like, I have a huge problem, like there's no captions on Instagram. And she's basically just saying like how much deaf people are missing out on social media and a lot of these things because there's no automatic closed captioning on Instagram. And that is not necessarily my fault because I don't have any part in Instagram, but it still is important to recognize what you can do to make up for problems within the system. And so I was tagged in this video when she posted it on her story, and so I guess that means that, some of her favorite creators are me, and she wants me to be able to accommodate more. And I felt super embarrassed because, I always assumed that deaf people followed me because of my sign language, like the sign language part of my account. And that was wrong because, I realized that there are deaf polyglots too that are interested in languages, outside of sign languages, so that was my bad. So I posted it again on my story saying like, oh hey guys, just wanted to let you guys know that this is super important. You should try to close caption your stories if you can, or even just write, with the text option, like what you're saying, so that people are not excluded from your stories or excluded from the videos that you post on Instagram or other social media. And I included this app called Mixed Captions, and I said that it was a free app, and it transcribes it word for word, so you don't even have to put in the subtitles yourself. And so yeah, I just left that on my story, and I wanted to show people what options they could use. So people were responding and quoting it on their stories like, oh, Elysse just posted this super helpful app. If you don't feel like doing subtitles, then it will do it for you. Or people were DMing me like, oh, does this translate? I hate doing captions and I would love for, this app to automatically translate or something. And those were from people within the language community, so yeah, I kind of didn't see that coming, but then again, I should have. So I guess the point is that the subtitles are not for you. They're not to make your life easier. They're not to save you time or anything. They're for people who are hard of hearing or deaf, first and foremost. So yeah, I think as hearing people, we have this kind of conceited complex sometimes, especially people that, have never been exposed to any sign language, deaf community, deaf culture, or know really what the problem with captions is, because it's not as common as people think. And it's even more disappointing because since I posted that, I've seen nobody doing it. And I put it out to over 3,000 followers that I have, and I also follow 211 people that I know saw the story, and nobody's been doing it. So why is it important? It's important because, think about all of the internet memes and all of the internet culture and all of the trends that have really shaped your life. And don't act like, the internet has not shaped your life. It affects the words we use, it affects how we relate to one another, how we, humor between people. And so when you miss out on that because you missed the joke or you can't lip read, then that's a huge problem. That's just another space that you can't be a part of because you don't know what's going on. Honestly, the only place that I consistently see captions are on Instagram ads, because they realize that, to maximize their customers, they need to appeal to everybody, even deaf and hard of hearing people. So that's kind of sad that the only way that we're gonna definitely see subtitles is if people are, trying to sell something. But anyways, I thought to just demonstrate, how hard this is, especially on Instagram, I would play Find the Captions. So we're basically just gonna go through a video hashtag like funny videos or something like that, a very popular video tag, and see how long it takes us to find a video that is captioned. Excluding TikToks that just have text over it to explain a meme or something. Okay, let's go. So for that example, I just scrolled through for a whole minute, and the only time I found subtitles was when it was a TikTok and people weren't actually talking and it was just like mouthing, or in videos where it wasn't in English so that they had to translate it. It's like interesting that people will go like out of their way to caption, specifically translate and write captions for English speakers, but no one wants to put in the same energy when they don't even have to do it themselves. They can just get it transcribed to make captions for deaf people and hard of hearing people. So, just a little demonstration. So, moving on, I also saw something on Definitely Wanderlust's page, which was something she was promoting from Ricky Pointer, that community captions on YouTube are in danger. So if you don't know what community captions are, they're basically the ability for other people to make captions for your video, so whether you pay them or whether people just volunteer to do it, but basically, like, it's not just that you put captions, it's other people too. So that's super important for the deaf community on YouTube, because it's not only like, oh, you know, deaf people need to be included in everything that hearing people access, it's also, you know, deaf people need to be connected to each other. So, for example, if you are a Russian deaf person watching a person signing in American Sign Language, you probably don't have an idea of everything they're saying, so it's important for people to be able to, like, translate or interpret, you know, American Sign Language into Russian. I don't know, that's just an example that Definitely Wanderlust used on her story. So the problem is that YouTube was like reviewing community captions because they were just like not as big of a success as they hoped or something, and they were just trying to, you know, keep YouTube's interface like futuristic and always one step ahead or something. So they're like, yay or nay, community captions. And so I put this on my story for everybody to, you know, go comment, and I would send them the link if they would comment in support of community captions, because that's really important. And I got a decent amount of people to, you know, go comment on it. I think it was like something like 30 of you out of 3,000 went to go comment, so thank you so much if you did that. So yeah, I posted it, and I don't expect everybody to understand why it's necessary, because a lot of hearing people are one-track minded or they're just kind of ignorant. But one guy responded like, oh, they're gonna take subtitles away? I was like, no, they're going to take away community captions. And he's like, oh, well, I don't see the problem, you know, if they're you know, just trying to keep the interface like, you know, updated or something. I don't even know, I'll put it here what he wrote exactly, but I was just like, it's not for you. It's not for you to think it's fine. He was basically like, oh, it's fine by me if they do this as long as they don't remove this or something. And I was like, this is just insanity, because I was like, I put like stuff before that to explain why I'm posting it, and like you just went over that, or you don't care as long as it doesn't bother you. Oy. So it's just really disappointing, because when I see stuff like that, it makes me feel like hearing people can never, you know, move together as a whole, and we're going to continue being really ignorant about this. So like we have this terrible habit, some of us, of only caring about these things if they directly affect us, which is sad. So basically the goal is to get Instagram and to get Twitter and like all these other social media platforms that don't have it yet to install automatic captioning. Now YouTube has it, of course, because the entire platform revolves around communication, being able to understand people, what they're saying, but it's kind of lagging behind on other platforms. So in the meantime, what you can do is raise awareness. You can, you know, continue to caption everything that you can. You know, so like your Instagram stories, you can literally just use the text tool if you don't have the mix captions app. Anyways, thank you so much for watching if you got this far. This is a really important issue, not just to me, you know, it's not my thing, because I can understand everything perfectly without captions, but I would like to use my platform for that. So if you do not caption your things, please start to caption whenever you can. And thank you so much for being here. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.